Okay, that should, I think that seems to be everybody, so I think we're all good to go. Thanks everyone for being here this morning, kicking off at 11:04. I've been really looking forward to presenting this to you. The purpose of today's webinar is essentially to give an overview to Oracle Analytics Cloud and Autonomous Data Warehouse. This is something that Lawrence Harvey and Vertice are looking at hosting a small series of over the course of 2019. This all came about when I was attending the UK Oracle user group last December. Some of you may recognize me from conferences as the man in the grey fedora, which I often reference in my articles at the event. And I saw a presentation that Vertice gave about the first implementations they did of OAC and ADW when the technology came in. And I was really impressed with the presentation style, and it really helped me to understand the technology, even though I don't have a technical background. Naturally, in 2019, these are technologies that many people are looking at, including many people on this call. So we thought it'd be very useful for the community to just have an overview of these products, what it's like to use them, and essentially everything you need to know before you get started. If everybody could keep themselves on mute for the call, and any questions that you've got, just pop them into the chat, and we'll do a Q&A at the end. But what I'll do now is hand over to David at Vertice, and he'll be able to talk us through OAC and ADW, and then hopefully we'll be able to handle lots of questions at the end. David, over to you.
Josh, thank you very much. Hello everyone, and welcome again to this webinar. So when I received the slides that Josh wanted to include here, I couldn't have him just having his mugshot and not including mine too. So I'm David Herty. I work for Vertice. I'm Business Development Manager, and I'm very happy to be presenting this webinar to you all today. So this is the agenda in the webinar. I want to keep the slides light enough and get more of a demo in here rather than bore everyone with slides, but I'll just go through the agenda. So I'll give a little introduction into Vertice, who we are and what we do as a company. Then I'll dive straight into Oracle Analytics Cloud. I'll give an overview of OAC, go through some of the main features, and then I'll jump into a demo where I'll show you some of those features in action. Then I'll talk about the Autonomous Data Warehouse, or better known as ADW. An overview again, go through some of the main components of that, some of the benefits that ADW would bring to you if you did include that in your architecture. And then OAC and ADW combined, what that architecture looks like, and then some of the benefits there. I'll wrap it up then with some customer success Vertice have had implementing OAC ADW, and we'll jump into a Q&A, and we'll leave plenty of time for a Q&A at the end. So this is just a little bit about Vertice. I'm not going to go into every box here. You can have a look yourselves. We were founded in 2010. Very proud to say we've won success with multiple Oracle Global Excellence Awards, and some of those awards were won for implementing OAC in various customer sites. We have a growing European presence. We won Oracle Ireland Partner of the Year 2018. And fingers crossed we can retain that title now in 3 weeks' time at the award ceremony again. And hopefully I'll be able to update these slides for the next webinar with a 2019 box there. We're an Oracle only Platinum partner. We only deal with Oracle, and we're established, accomplished, and well respected in the industry. So OAC then, just to give you an overview, OAC is a scalable and secure public cloud service that provides a full set of capabilities to explore and perform collaborative analytics for you, your work group, and your enterprise. OAC can definitely be scaled very easily to fit your the growing needs in your business, especially with the new universal credit subscription model that Oracle have rolled out recently. So as your company grows, OAC can definitely scale very easily too. It's very collaborative as well, so you can work and share on projects collaboratively among your organization in OAC. And with OAC then, you also get flexible service management capabilities, including fast setup, easy scaling and patching, and automated lifecycle management. So fast setup, I've seen this being set up. I've set up a few myself as well in the last few years, and it literally takes 10 to 15 minutes once you enter all the relevant credentials during the provision stage of setting up OAC. it is available to literally log in and start to analyze your data once that is done in 10 to 15 minutes time. And as I already mentioned, the scaling, it's easily scaled, and most recently Oracle have implemented automated lifecycle management in OAC. So you have automated patching as well as automated upgrades and automated backups. So they're making the administration much more easy and less work for users to do in terms of administration. Oracle are looking after this with automated functionality. This is some of the main features in OAC. So you get data visualization for self-service aspects. You can do data blending, data mashups, multiple sources, whether it's flat files, database, or application connections. You have data preparation and data enrichment capabilities. So you can enrich data sets using built-in machine learning and AI capabilities in OAC. There is machine learning as well built in, so you can actually do some light data science on your data using built-in mathematical and statistical algorithms that come out of the box to drag and drop into data flows and start to get deeper insights into your data. Enterprise reporting with governance and security then, so it's this kind of the same functionality. If anyone is familiar with OBIE, the on-premise solution, the reporting capabilities are very similar. What is included in OAC as in OBIE. You also get business scenario modeling for those of you who are familiar with airspace. I myself am not familiar with airspace, so I won't go too much into too much detail today. Mobile access then, so because OAC is in the cloud, it's just a URL to log into the platform, so it can be accessed anywhere at any time on any device, provided you have good internet access, of course. And the BI publisher then is the pixel perfect reporting and scheduled delivery. So those of you who are familiar with BI publisher, where reports can be scheduled to deliver to users in certain formats at particular specified times. And in the demo today, then I'll be showing the first 4 features. So that'll be the data visualization, data preparation, and data enrichment, which uses machine learning, and the enterprise reporting with governance and security. The data visualization then is the DV side of OAC is fast and compelling visualizations. It uses natural language querying and generation. Extendable with external or open source visualizations. So you can actually import external visualizations into OAC and use them in your data visualization projects. And you get accelerated insights, pardon me. So you can create fast and compelling visualizations, and there's lots of visualizations to choose from, and the list can be extended, as I mentioned. There's an Oracle BI store online, which I've included a link here, that you can grab these visualizations and import into your OAC instance. There's also some really good tutorials and the example data sets in there too. So the natural language querying then is using built-in voice recognition software. So similar to the likes of Siri, you can actually ask OAC questions and it will crawl your data sets to find the keywords which you have asked and pick out visualizations and basically start building visuals and projects based on what you've asked OAC. And there's built-in machine learning enables accelerated insights, as I mentioned, and I'll try and demo this as best I can today. The data preparation and data enrichment aspect of OAC is really cool. So when you're working with data sets and connections in OAC, you can prepare and enrich your data on the fly. Again, it's built in machine learning and AI capabilities being leveraged to make the tool more advanced and user-friendly. You can simply drag and drop one-click data enrichment and preparation, which is very simple to use. There's a multitude of connections available to various applications and database types. And Oracle are continuing to grow this list in each upgrade of OAC. They're expanding it nearly every month at this stage. There's automated upgrades and patches applied with more functionality, making OAC easier to use. And when you've finished prepping and enriching your data, you can save as a data set, a database, or even an airspace model for multi-dimensional what-if analysis. You can also leverage built-in machine learning algorithms in this part of OAC too. So you can get into light data science and begin to train machine learning models and make them more precise. So make your predictions more accurate the more you train the model. So this is just a quick look at the data preparation and data enrichment. So when you add a data set into OAC, in the prepare panel, you can get an overview of the data. You will see recommendations on the right-hand side. So here we're enriching the city with the country name. So the artificial intelligence and machine learning knows to get the right country name based on the city. And you can enrich it with the population. And there's other cool things here you can do too. So you can, if there's sensitive data in here that you want to obfuscate for users, you can do so. Just change it as an attribute and you'll get the enrichment panel then. And you can obfuscate, say, the first 12 digits. So it's really nice, really user-friendly, one click. There's not too much technical skills required here at this stage. They're making it very, very simple to enrich and to prepare data sets before actually building visualizations on top of these. The machine learning side of OAC then augments existing user capabilities and there's no specialized skill sets required. I will say you do need a little bit of knowledge of machine learning and the algorithms that are included. You'll need to know which algorithm to apply in certain use cases. So you don't need a PhD in data science to get your hands on machine learning in OAC, but you will need to know when and where to apply the algorithms that are included. So ML in OAC provides augmented data discovery and preparation. So it can auto suggest one-click cleansing, prep, and enrichment. You get augmented insights, so machine generated visuals to uncover deeper insights. There's natural language then, as I mentioned before, your natural language search and generation, so you can understand and speak the data. Proactive personalized insights, which will bring relevant insights at the right time wherever you are. There's also a really cool explain feature in OAC, which I'll demo to you. I think it's in the next slide. There's a short video just showing. So if you have a data set and you're not too sure what the attribute or measure is, you can click explain and it'll bring up some basic facts about the attrition is the measure that is being selected here. You'll also get some key drivers. And what you can do then is you can actually tick the box and say, I'm gonna want to analyze these just in a moment when I'm finished going through this explain. You'll get your segments that explain attrition. You'll also get anomalies of attrition. So what it's going to do is it's going to select another visual here. And then we'll add these into the canvas. So this is really good, say if you get blank canvas syndrome. So it's kind of like writer's block for analysts. And you're not too sure where to start. Explain is always a good place to go. And you, as you can see then, you already have a canvas built up of visualizations based on attrition. I'll demo this as well in just a few moments' time. There's other options for machine learning in OAC. So you can connect to machine learning in ADW, which is more heavy hitting than the algorithms that are included in OAC. You can also use built-in scripts. You can upload and call custom scripts. You can develop custom scripts in the repository, which is basically your data model file that is uploaded into OAC. You can connect to Oracle Advanced Analytics in a database cloud service. So that's on the high performance or extreme performance edition. This is the real kind of heavy hitting advanced analytics for fraud detection and similar use cases. Then you have your Oracle data mining integration and your Oracle or enterprise integration. So you can see there is multiple ways that you can get into machine learning just using OAC alone. So business scenario modeling, as I mentioned at the start, is your airspace cloud, and I'm not too savvy with airspace, so I'm just going to go over what airspace is. It's basically modeling scenarios. It's what if, multi-dimensional analysis. It's really good performance, even in busy periods. It's integrated directly with Excel. You can create new applications directly from Excel. So those of you who know what airspace is, it is included in OAC, and hopefully we will get another webinar that is specific to airspace to go through that for the audience who would like to get deeper into airspace. Mobile access then, because it is just a cloud-based platform, you have mobile access just using a URL on any device. So it's really good for users who are on the move, proactive context aware analytics, no pre-authored content. So you are creating this on the fly, but it's pretty easy to do so. So it's augmented reality, and as I mentioned, it's on any device. I think it'd be really good to get another webinar on the day by day. So with OAC, with your subscription, you get access to the Oracle's day by day mobile application, and it's really cool to see how the natural language querying works on that. And as you can see in the screenshots there, it's just a sample of what can be done on mobile devices. There's also a function called bring back. And if you create a report, you can choose to bring the report back. And this can be triggered by a certain location. So if you have a report you want to run every time you walk into the office, you can set it up to do so, or you can do it at a certain date or time. If you have monthly meetings and you want certain report to run right on that time just before going into your meeting, you can set it up to do so. So that's a really cool feature that comes as part of OAC. So I'm going to go into a demo now, and I'm going to show the enterprise reporting with governance and security. And then I'm going to show the data preparation and data enrichment, which we had a brief look at there in the last few slides. I'll get into data visualization, and I'll touch on machine learning too. So I'm just going to switch over to OAC now. So this is the view that you get when you log into OAC. This is the home screen. And here you can see all your data sets, all your projects you've been working on and you have access to. You can see further down there's data flows here, which is basically like a light data integration tool. So you can join up different sources, whether it's flat files or database connections. You can get into aggregating these data sets and doing calculations on these data sets before you want to analyze these and visualize these. And there's also some useful links here. So you have some downloads, which is the Oracle BI store that I mentioned earlier on. So you can get samples and tutorials directly in here. And you have an academy too, where you can learn more about OAC and the various functionality in here. So the first feature that I was going to touch on was the enterprise reporting. So we'll just go into the classic view in OAC. So this is what the enterprise reporting looks like. And for those of you who have seen OBIE before, it'll look very similar. So you can create analysis from here, your publish reporting, which is your BI publisher. You can create actions to schedule reports to specific users. You get a look at the dashboards you've been accessing and working on, and other things here too, like the analysis and projects you've been working on. You also get your downloads here. So you have your smart view for airspace. You have your BI admin tool, which is where you do your data models. As I said, if you're familiar with OBIE, then you'll be familiar with the BI admin tool, and you can actually get a download directly from OAC. And you have a template builder for Word. There is also a data modeler in OAC. I have no experience with that because in Vertice, we're used to using the BI admin tool, so we have always went for this option. But there is a data modeler built in OAC. If you want to build data models in here, you can do so if you're not familiar with this BI admin tool. So you also have a catalog here of all the reports, analysis and dashboards you've been working on. So you have your own personal folder, or you have your shared folders where you can collaborate with the other users in your organization. You can quickly access your favorites, and you have dashboards then that have been built by analysts. So this is your descriptive kind of analytics. So I'll just go into this customer analytics dashboard. And what this is a Vertice postal service offering. So we have templates built specifically to postal services because we've done a lot of work in on post, and this has kind of generated a vertical in Oracle where we now have an offering for postal services. Just to give this a bit of context of what this dashboard is. This is what it looks like. You can have multiple tabs. You can have data filters, which here we have, you can go back date ranges, so the last 2 days, the last 7 days. You can also go back a custom range, and you can see here, this is a sample data as well. So this is not live. This is just a sample set that we've uploaded for the postal services to give them a feel of what we can do for postal services specifically in OAC. This is the last refresh date, so they can see when the last data warehouse refresh took place. So as you can see, this one, there's nothing much to it. It's really simple. There's a few KPIs built up around their parcels, what's happening on a daily basis. You can see this in different views. So I've changed it to a tabular format, and then you can focus on exceptions, and you can set it up so that each visual on the dashboard is drillable, so you can get to the detail behind each figure on the dashboard page in a tabular format. And what they can do is then they can come in here and they can export the data out if they want to. There's also, you can use spatial in OAC, so we have maps built into this. So this is for, say, on postal services, their customers. So their customers being other couriers such as Amazon and DHL. So they can kind of come in here and see what's happening on a day-to-day basis. So the map view helps this because it can kind of see any problem areas around the country, and again, you can get to the detail behind this. So for people who will be creating reports and dashboards, you can do so in this side of OAC2. You can get reports, jobs, agents, and so on. So that's just an overview of the enterprise reporting feature in OAC. For administration users, then you have various options. So you can actually add in custom maps. If you're used to using Google Maps, you can add them in here. You can manage the privileges as well, privileges for certain users or application roles. So I am logged in as an administrator at the moment, but if you have users that you don't want this much access, you can literally limit what they see when they log into OAC, basically. And you can manage teams too, so you can really customize the front end, the look and feel of OAC. As you can see, we've added the Vertice logo here. You can build up multiple teams, and it's really simple to apply these teams then once they're built in here. So that was an overview of the reporting. I'll just give you a look at the data prep and the data enrichment then. So really simple here. If we go into any of our flat files, and we can literally just drag and drop into OAC to upload a flat file, just taking a sample data set of sales data in the US. And we can rename it to give it a bit more context. So this is for our webinar. You get a preview of what the data set is. We'll say, okay, we'll bring it in. And I was testing this before, it's already there. So I'll say yes to replace. And now that data set is ready, so we can open that up. And from here, then you'll already see on the right-hand side, we're getting recommendations based on the attributes and columns that we have in this data set. So you can see from buyer, we can extract the first name. So let's click that and we'll extract the first name from buyer. And there you go, we've got the first name. We can even rename that. So we know instead of buyer part 1, this is first name. And we'll add that step. And you might have noticed on the left-hand side, this is building up a script that we can either edit and choose to remove steps if we don't want to bring them into to visualize, or we can apply the full script. And just to show you the enrichment then, as you saw briefly in the video that was included in the data enrichment slide, OAC uses AI and ML built in, so we can enrich this with jurisdiction. We can get a preview first. We don't have to apply it. We can just see what that looks like first before we add it to our data set. And then we can say, okay, we want to bring that in. So it's really user friendly. All I'm doing here is clicking and using the recommendations that OAC is giving me to enrich my data set before I bring it into the data visualization. You can do stuff with dates too. So if you want to extract the day, the month, the year, it's really just one click and you can do that too. So previously you might in say in OBIE, you would have to do this in the BI administration tool when you're creating your data models, or you would have to go in to edit each column and apply some formulas, whereas here it's literally just one click and you have it done very, very simply for you. So just go in into the data visualization piece. So I'll apply the changes. So I'll show you some data visualization based on this data set that I've just included here. So that's applied that script that I've enriched and prepped, and I have it in data visualization now. So we can start to create visuals on this. So there's a few ways you can do it. You can select multiple attributes and measures that you want to include in your project. So I'm going to get store, I'm going to get units and item type as well. And if I just hold control, then I can get a multi-selection. And I can right click these and I can create the best visualization, and OAC will create a visualization that it thinks would be best for these attributes and measures, or I can actually pick from a list. So for this one, I'm going to create a best visualization and see what it brings back. So there you go. You can see a few already are really, really strong in comparison to units. So what I can do is then sort these. We go low to high. And you can also say, right, well, I'm not really interested in the guys who are not performing. So I'm going to see the top 6 I think I have, and you can right click and keep these ones selected. As well, in data visualization, you can change the colors. So if these don't tickle your fancy, you can change these very easily. And you can begin to then visualize this further. So I want to see the size in revenue. So it's really, really simple, just dragging that from the data pane into the visualization, and you can see then which ones are good performers then based on the size of the bars. Just show you some of the visualizations in OAC out of the box. There is a large range to choose from, and as I mentioned, you can extend this too. One more thing I'd like to show, if we bring in a visualization, just drag it in there, and we'll bring in the state, and I can drag it here. If I'm not too sure where to place it, I can just drag it and let it go, and OAC will pick the best place for it. So state has gone into color, and I'll bring in a measure too, so I'll bring in revenue into the values. And we can set a visualization up as a filter. So you'll see now, as I begin to click on states, the visualization below will then filter based on the state I've selected. So it's getting the stores from each state basically. So it's a really, really user-friendly way to present data, especially if you have monthly meetings where you want to kind of present this as a story back to people in your organization and show what's happening, give them an insight into your business. So there is a way to do that. If we go into Narrate then, which is the last tab in data visualization, we can add canvases and begin to build up a story of insights that you can present back to people in your organization. So I'll just quickly go back to visualize and create another canvas. I'll do this one really quickly just to show you the story, the narrate section in OAC. Probably moving a bit too quickly. I mean, it had to go wrong for me at one point, right? Demos never really go too smooth. But basically, that is how, sorry, I'll just exit this out. That is how you would go about building up a story of insights to present back to your organization if you have multiple canvases that you want to present in meetings. So I'll just let this load back up, and then I'll quickly just show another aspect, which is the data flows. So if we go into home, we'll just go here and we'll say create a data flow. And as I mentioned, it's like a light kind of ETL tool where you can join up data sets, aggregate data, do calculations, and so on. So I'll just create a data set here, and I'll add sales. And I'll add that in. So this is what the data flows piece of OAC looks like. If we go here, you can see you can add more data. We can join. So I'll put a join there. Sorry, I'll put an add data. And create data set. And this doesn't have to be flat files. This can be database connections. This can be application connections. You can join up, I think it's over 60 kind of connections that you're able to join and connect to in OAC. So I'll just add that one in as well. And now you can see it's already matched up on the zip code. So it recognizes the common attributes in both data sets and has already matched it up for me. And on the left-hand side here, you can see there's a multitude of steps that you can add into a data flow. So you can add columns, you can select the columns that you want to use, rename, you can merge, and you can do some time series forecasts, and you can also then apply some machine learning algorithms. As you can see, there's train numeric prediction, train multi-classifier, train clustering, and train binary classifiers. So you can train these algorithms to be more precise and get a really deep insights into your data set. You can create an airspace cube for multi-dimensional what-if analysis, or you can save these as database connections for further analysis at a later stage. So just being conscious of time, I'm going to flick back into the slides and just go through the last few, which is around ADW. So to give an overview of ADW, it's the most innovative cloud service for data management in the industry. It provides an easy-to-use autonomous database that scales elastically and delivers fast query performance, and it requires no database administration. So it still requires a DBA to load data and to create indexes and to manage schemas and users and so on, but they get that vital time back with the automated kind of management that is in there, and they get that time back that would have been used to administer the data warehouse to focus on other key tasks to run the data warehouse. With pertinent amounts of data in the cloud, ADW definitely does deliver fast query performance. So the components, there's two components then, main components in ADW. The first one is a service console that allows you to perform monitoring tasks. So you can manage and monitor performance, you can monitor SQL statements, you can see an overview of your storage, CPU utilization, database activity, and so on. And then you also get a notebook application. So this notebook application is basically a SQL notebook interface for data scientists to perform ML in ADW, and then can be used through OEC as a connection. It provides an easy-to-use library of algorithms that's SQL, PL/SQL based, and Oracle statistical and analytical functions built in here. And it enables teams to collaboratively build, evaluate, and deploy predictive models. Some of the benefits then of ADW, it's easy. So you can deploy a data warehouse in 15 seconds. Personally, I've seen an ADW environment being created in a matter of minutes. There's increased automation as well. So you have reduced admin time to work on important tasks and reduced human error. So there's less human interaction. So reduced human error as well. It's fast, so you get unlimited concurrent access to ADW and faster workload processing. It's elastic, so you have zero downtime when scaling up or down, and Oracle's SLA of 99.995% availability. So I think that's less than 30 minutes planned and unplanned downtime per year. And it's secure as well, so we've hardened database config, encryption everywhere, monitoring and auditing, and strong user authentication as well. This is kind of the OAC and ADW architecture, and it enables you to leverage a big data architecture. It also enables EPM integration, supports agile development, and improves time to value rapidly on your analytics investment. So you have the ability to connect to ADW using open source coding platforms such as R and Python. Similar capabilities in OAC to integrate into open source applications and technologies. You can also connect ADW to third-party BI cloud or on-premise tools. So you have a choice architecturally of what is the best solution for you and your business. In ADW then, as I mentioned, you have your service console for service management and your machine learning notebook as a built-in access tool. You can, there's SQL Developer access too. So for those who are familiar with SQL Developer, they can still access ADW through SQL Developer. And for data integration then, to extract from multiple sources and to load to ADW incrementally throughout the day, Dipsy can be used. You can also use third-party data integration cloud or on-premise solutions here. And last but not least then, object storage for flat files and staging. So that to me is a complete enterprise architecture solution. It's what that kind of looks like to cater for all business needs and business requirements. So OAC and ADW combined, what will that provide? So it will provide the three types of analytics, that is descriptive analytics. So it's made up of BI disseminated dashboards, simple self-service visualizations, role-based access control, pixel-perfect reports, and smart view for airspace. You also get predictive analytics, which is your trend lines and forecasts, your data flows, storytelling using insights, what-if analysis using airspace, and your augmented analytics, which includes machine learning, built AI, natural language querying and narrating, adaptive and personalized analytics, your one-click explain, and data enrichment, which I've shown in the demo. So this is what the three types look like. So it's first and foremost in any BI project to get to the augmented stage, you need to start down at descriptive. So it gives you stronger governance. Who is it for? Usually IT develops and everyone can consume. The benefits of this then would be that you have a single source of the truth, you have stronger data governance, as it would be released through strict release management processes. Your predictive analytics then, your improved user productivity. Who is this for? Analysts develop and then everyone can consume basically. The benefits of this would be quick and easy insights. There is some problems as everyone can create their own silos and data marts in OAC. So it's less governed than your descriptive analytics, but not less productive. And augmented then is for everyone, I think. So your AI ML driven deeper insights. And the problems here would be that it's not available in most products. So user adoption would be quite low, but it is available in OAC. In OAC, you can get the 3 types of analytics that I've just shown here. And that kind of wraps up the content for today. I hope it's been useful. I've included some useful links here, and we'll share these slides directly after the webinar with all of the attendees who are on here. I've included a link to the BI store, our own Vertice Cloud YouTube as well, the Oracle Analytics YouTube, and then both Lawrence Harvey and verticecloud.com websites. Just a quick look, Vertice customer success. So we're a small Irish company that's starting to spread across Europe in all aspects as analytics, ERP, data integration, EPM, data management, and then everything combined. So our reach is becoming a lot more across Europe and Western Europe. This is some of our customer success. So in terms of OAC, then OnPost was a world first implementation in 2017. At the time, I was a BI consultant and helped to deliver that project. We gained some bleeding edge knowledge of OAC at the time. And since then, OAC has evolved so much that Oracle continued to release more functionality through their patches and updates. That was a hybrid architecture built on a big data analytics platform. So it was on-premise and cloud, basically. And they decided to use OAC, which helped reduce business process time in there, because they were giving access to their customers to log into OAC to get answers, rather than having to ring up OnPost and see where their parcels are. So that's the likes of Amazon and DHL getting great benefits there through OAC in OnPost. iCabby then was a world second. That was a pure cloud solution. iCabby, just to give you an overview, are a taxi dispatch software company. They're based in Dublin, and they rolled out OAC to their customers as well, so externalization of data. And then Abbey International in the financial services sector then was our third implementation of OAC, and they used it for financial consolidation of information. So they have multiple ERPs around the world, and they wanted to consolidate all that information into one central location. They had no analytical visibility. They were using Excel. There was lots of human error. So they used OAC to reduce human error and get visibility over all of their data sources, basically. And just to have a quick look at our Data Analytics Awards. So in context of the 3 customers that I just mentioned, they helped us to obtain multiple Oracle Global Excellence Awards since 2016. So with OnPost and iCabby, we were very happy to receive these in Oracle Open World with the customer. Then more locally, our User Group Awards for Analytics and Data Integration. And as I mentioned at the start, Oracle Ireland Partner of the Year. And hopefully in 3 weeks or 4 weeks' time, we'll be updating that 2018 to be 2019 instead. So that's it from me for today. I hope you can take some value from what I've shown. I hope it was useful. Thank you all for joining me. It's been a pleasure to go through this webinar today. Please do look out for more webinars in the near future, the very near future. At that then, I'll say thank you very much, and I'm going to hand it back over to Josh, and we'll just do a Q&A now for anyone who has any questions. Please do put them in the chat, and we'll get them answered for you.
Yeah, I've now been taken off mute, so hopefully you can all hear me. Anybody with any questions, if you want to pop those into the chat box now, and we'll answer those in a moment or two. But just whilst you guys are doing that, a big thank you to David and the team at Vertice for that presentation. I hope everybody did find it useful. As mentioned, there should be a copy of the deck going around at some point, or a recording of this webinar for you guys to refer back to. And of course, throughout, this is all about knowledge sharing and helping the community. So anything that you feel that Vertice or Lawrence Harvey you would like our help with, you can always get in touch with either of us at any time, and we'll always be happy to help you out with market information, trends, have a sense of what to plan for, even if you've not made any decisions yet, there'll be things that we can help with. And I'm sure as well that David and myself will both be thanking our respective marketing teams for the work that's gone into promoting this. It's really good to get the turnout that we did this morning, and we look forward to turning it into a series from here on in. Looks like we have a question in from Andrea. How does the extension with open source DB work? David, I'm going to guess you'll be better placed to answer that than me.
Good question, Andrea. So there's different ways to connect in. You can upload custom scripts in data visualization. So if you're working with R or Python, you can basically add these into a data flow. You can then call these scripts in data visualization, and basically whatever the scripts are doing, you can get a better insight into your data using these. So I myself haven't ventured too deeply into this side of OAC, but we are planning to run a webinar more focused on machine learning, AI, using ADW2. So hopefully we will be able to go deeper into that aspect of OAC. So please look out for that webinar, and do join in then to see more in detail how R and Python and open source can be used in OAC and ADW.
Excellent. Sounds like a good overview. Next one in then from Craig. Craig's with NHS Shared Business Services, currently using ERP Cloud. So how does OAC connect with that? Is it through an ETL or a live real-time connection?
Yeah, so it both. So you can do a live real-time connection straight from OAC and create an analysis like that, or you can use an ETL tool like Data Integration Platform Cloud, that will incrementally load a data warehouse and then connect that way through the RPD. So you do have multiple options when connecting to a source such as an ERP cloud, Craig.
Excellent. Larry, thank you for your kind words, saying great presentation. Definitely agree. Larry says, how do I go about getting started with OAC? David, where would you suggest he begins?
Yeah, so Vertice have a rapid start offering that we can look at, Larry. So we can send you some details on that. It's basically, we will configure OAC and give you on-site training in OAC, and basically get it standing up for you so you can get started. Oracle also offer a free trial of OAC. So there's some information online. If you look up Oracle free trials, you can get an OAC environment. Now they do say you need your credit card details, and they promise you won't be charged, and I can confirm that is correct. We have done a number of these, so there's two ways you can get started. So if you would like me to send you some more information following this webinar, please do put it in the chat box, and I can send you some links to get started.
I'm sure that'll be useful for a lot of people. One in as well from Emily. One question with regards to data integration and preparation therein. Will the data that we push from any import sources be loaded as a Hive table or Hive tables, or is it pushed to Hadoop? David, perhaps you can elaborate on that one.
That's a really good question, because I don't have an answer for that at the moment, Billy, but I can look deeper into that for you. I'm not too sure about pushing to Hadoop. I know you can save it as a database in OAC, but it wouldn't be specifically a Hive table. So what I can do is get you some more information and send that to you afterwards. So if you would like to just send me your email to me privately in the chat box, then I can get you some more information following this webinar. That's okay.
If that goes on to be a webinar topic in its own right, then Amberly, we owe you our thanks. Are there any more questions for the chat box from anybody? Cool, looks like that's it then. Well, thanks everyone very much for attending. We'll keep you posted with the follow-up and any further webinars that we do. Any ideas for topics or anything that you'd like us to cover, send that through to myself or to David at Vertice, and we'll add that to the list, and anything we can help any of you with in the future, do let us know. But for now, thanks very much and enjoy the rest of your Thursdays.
Yeah, thank you very much, everyone. So we're going to send everyone a email following this who registered with some more information. We'll give you the the slides. And yeah, thank you very much for joining, and I hope to see you on webinars in the future.